Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pet Food Puzzle Guy. And I got another message today, or a comment today in one of my videos. And I just, I'm just going to respond with a video because this is why I do my channel. I know I say this a lot, but it's really because of the folks that I meet through the channel. And it just drives me nuts how marketing affects people's attitudes and the anxiety that it causes. So I just want to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and read a comment, and I just want to respond to it. And thanks for being here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just want to read the comment. Aren't these studies and trials potentially biased? I mean, why should I believe a mega food company saying that GMO corn and GMO soy are good for my dog just because they did a study on it? The companies doing the studies and trials have a vested interest in the outcomes. Absolutely. It's really hard to know what information is fact and what is opinion and what information is skewed to the desired narrative. This is all so frustrating. I can't find a quality dog food that even meets the optimal senior percentages. Why don't they exist? If it's so clear, why aren't the mega companies doing it? And these mega companies are all about marketing too. I mean, come on, breed specific formulas. Why? Money, that's why. Money is the bottom line with all companies, big, small, and in between. It does nothing but leaves us. Just give me a minute. I got to switch pages here. Which leaves us. Sorry about this. Uh, uh, which leaves us as pet parents questioning what is the right thing to do. I just want to cry trying to find the answer because I honestly don't think there is an answer, most especially with trying to find a senior dog food. Okay, so let me kind of get out of my camera here a little bit. So let's bring this back. Okay, so Debbie, I feel your pain. Okay, and I don't mean that in a funny way. That's kind of why my channel, I continue to make videos. Watch some of them, and you'll see it's just so frustrating. The misinformation, like you said, who do you believe anymore? Um, let me go and address a few of your concerns. First of all, of course, money is involved in everything, and without a company making money, they can't produce a good product or a bad product or anything. So, as Dr. Gross said, if you watch the video I just did a few days ago, an interview with Dr. Gross, she was a nutritionist at Hills Pet Nutrition for 32 years. I was there for 34, so we both retired around the same time. And she said a couple things. You watch the video; it's awesome. But when it comes to research, this is what she did for years and years and years. Research, and other people will tell you this, it's called peer-reviewed research. And I used to see peer-reviewed, and of course you think, okay, your peers have reviewed it and they've okayed it. It really makes a big difference because if you're, let's say, well, Farmer's Dog just gave a bunch of money working with Cornell, studying dehydration and hydration with fresh food, whatever. Yes, you're right that Farmer's Dog is looking, they want to get, they're hoping for good results that fresh food hydrates the dog more than, let's say, kibble. Okay, so they do have a vested interest. But you're asking, would Cornell, would their veterinarians say, okay, we're going to skew this to make it look really good for Farmer's Dog so they keep giving us money? Yeah, that could happen. I mean, especially after we've been through this whole fiasco with COVID. Of course, that was our government involved, and government's a little different than business, but still dishonest people at every level of in society. The point is, if Cornell doesn't want to destroy their credibility, they are not going to participate and do a study where the other 100 or so board certified nutritionists out there in the country can read that study and say, well, the protocol wasn't done right. This wasn't done right. There's way too many variables in here, and I am not a science, a research guy, so I'm totally slaughtering the way maybe Dr. Gross would say this. But again, looking at the study itself, even looking at, okay, here's the results you got, but you really kind of extrapolated way out there with your conclusion doesn't really match the results. Um, for Cornell to do that for the little bit of money they're going to get from Farmer's Dog, so that they'll keep, doing research with them, that just isn't worth it. Okay, and Dr. Gross would tell you, she said it, that a company like Hills, they do a lot of their own research, they fund a lot of research out to other places, but they are looking at research that is done all over the world. I mean, literally all over the world. Um, so same way they're putting it through. Hey, this is actually legit. I'm trying to think of studies when Hills started adding L-tryptophan and casein to their cat foods to reduce stress for idiopathic cystitis and things like that. Royal Canin did it with their calm diet. Hills did it with their CD stress diet. I remember when they were showing us some of the studies, many of them were from overseas. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if Hills and Royal Canin did any studies on L-tryptophan and casein themselves, because there was so much worldwide information on it that was evaluated, that was legit, and that's why it went into the food. Now, a food company may test their final product. Hills used to do that all the time. I used to tell my veterinarians, the biggest thrill for me wasn't, I mean, I'd learn about the diet and all this new research, and it was really pretty cool. And as a non-veterinarian, I could understand it to a certain degree. Okay. And then my job was to share that information with vet teams in the clinics and have them try it. And I would tell veterinarians, this all sounds great, but to me, I've learned over the years, over 3 decades of doing this, what's really exciting is when you, as the veterinarian, send it home with the cat or the dog, and we see real results. You could see them in studies, but there's something real about when you see it with real client-owned pets, in their own environment, and the diet works the way you're hoping it will. And so I loved my job for 34 years because of that. That's why I get so angst when people talk bad about prescription diet. I know they're they're not talking out their mouths. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Or they're not thinking, not from knowledge. So anyway, so when you're worrying about studies, let me bring your letter back up here. You have to understand, yes, I'm sure there is some bias done at certain things, but you're not going to end up with a product, I don't think, that's going to be totally made up, and all the results are just fabricated to make money. And for veterinarians, I can tell you, having worked with them for years, if you give them a supplement or a product or anything that doesn't work, they're going to kind of discover that pretty quick. It doesn't take long for them to realize, wow, this diet really isn't working. I really like this one. I see much better results with this one. And that's going to be their bottom line. You practicing vets that are out there watching this, I know you love research, you love all that stuff, you think critically and discerning. But bottom line is, if something doesn't work, you're not going to keep recommending it, because now it's your reputation on the line. So Debbie, you don't have to worry too much that, well, that's, just this study was done by Hills or this study was done by Farmer's Dog. I totally get your suspicion, but it's a much broader world that you're just not going to get away with that very long. And again, if it was all made up and here's this placebo diet that's really not going to work, tell you what, it's going to show up in that cat still having crystals, or the blood work not improving, or the dog still scratching. I mean, most of these products have to perform, otherwise vets aren't recommending them. Your search for a senior diet. You need to go to, I'll put it up here. I just did a video. I haven't even released it yet, so I'll have to let you know a message here. Maybe tonight I can get it published on AFCO and their lack of senior numbers. And you're probably looking at small animal clinical nutrition. And so you probably already know about Dr. Ray. She is working on a lot of senior videos, so that will help you a lot, I'm sure. I just did one that I think it's a lot shorter and will just help you kind of get the right idea. Don't freak out because you're not finding the perfect senior diet, okay? That's really, it should be okay. So you will see that video. Bottom line, everybody's trying to make money. Sure. I mean, thank you. I mean, these people that think that the big three are just out to make money and the little guys are just doing it for the love of animals. Come on. And as a matter of fact, I would think the small companies have to worry about money a whole lot worse than the bigger companies that have that money to play with. As a matter of fact, you look at Royal Canin, Purina, and Hills, they donate a lot of money back to the veterinary community, back to shelters. I mean, Hills is an amazing shelter program, feeding, oh geez, it's got to be 150,000 pets a day now in America, getting them healthy looking so they're more adoptable. uh, Hills just built, I think it was like a $22 million addition to the research facility just dedicated to small breed canine nutrition. Now, I'm just going to ask you this. Why, if a food company that's as big as Hills and are making the money they're making, and their competition does not do much research, Royal Canin and Purina do, a few others do, but most just kind of, here's our food, we meet the minimums. Why would Hills spend millions of dollars to develop a research facility just for small breed canine nutrition? Why? Because there's so many more small breeds out there. There's more to learn about nutrition all the time. But you got to give kudos to Hills for sure, they're making a lot of money, I'm sure, but they're spending a lot to improve the health of animals. You can't say that about a lot of other companies that are making some pretty decent money, spending millions of dollars on advertising, and all they're doing is feeding off the research from Hills and Royal Canin. Hills mapped out the complete genome of the dog and cat. I mean, it's an amazing thing to even think about. That's where we learned how to change gene expression and change metabolism and things like that. Worth millions of dollars. Hills donated that mapping to the Morris Animal Foundation, the research facility, because the information was just too important. So other companies now, everybody else has access to that to do their own research. So again, it goes back to research is much different than, as civilians, we just think, oh, they ran a study to say their food is wonderful. And of course, they paid for it. So it's going to come back, being positive. That really isn't the case. So, and again, money is important, but where they spend their money is something you should look at as well. And I think I am gonna, and you just want to cry. Okay, you don't have to cry. Okay, I understand you love your animals the way I do, the way everybody on my channel does. Calm down. Don't let the pet food marketers drive you crazy. I have an interview coming up with a holistic veterinarian, and I love her because she and I are going to disagree on a lot of different things, but the one thing she can tell you is, you're not killing your pet if you feed this or don't feed that, whatever. Most of it comes down to genetics anyway, but don't let the marketing drive you crazy. It's people out there selling stuff that are right now, we're in the age of fear and shame. If I can scare you into buying my product or shame you into spending a lot of money to buy my product, I'm going to do it. That seems to be pet food marketing 101 right now, and it's a shame. If you have a senior dog, you can comment. There's things, and Dr. A would say this: we don't like diagnosing, people's individual pets, but is she slowing down? Is she starting to limp? Is she gaining weight? What behavior changes are you seeing? Is she drinking a lot more? Is she peeing a lot more, maybe having some accidents in the house? There's different things that show, okay, we have true aging going on, but you could be just blessed with a dog that you didn't say how old, what senior you said. I don't see an age here. You might be fine on an adult diet for a number of years still to go. So it just depends on the need of the pet. All right. But I thank you for your comment. And I know a lot of people are just like you. That's why I'm sharing your comment on the channel to respond to it, and it's great. Your pup there is blessed to have you, I'm sure. But you need to calm down, enjoy life, take the pup for a walk. I'm sure you're doing fine. Get some blood work done. If you're really anxious and you're not sure you're doing the right thing, you get some blood work, and that blood work comes back good. Hey, you're spot on. You're doing fine, and then we can adjust from there to see, what we want to do in the future. Okay. So again, everybody, thanks for the comments. I really do appreciate it. It's not like I'm picking out the smartest ones or the best ones. I think it's the ones that tug at my heart that I respond to. But this one just came, and everybody, let's just do our best, calm down, enjoy life, not let things. There's enough trouble in a day that we don't have to create more, and not let these pet food marketers ruin our day. Right. We'll catch you on the next video. And remember, I guess I'm saying this a lot now, but I'm really starting to feel it every day when I take my old gals for a walk. Every day is precious. I know some days maybe don't feel like it, for sure. but they are. And so treat them that way. And we'll see you on the next video.